All right, let's jump right in. What if you could fix 99% of your problems? I know, it's a huge claim, but it actually comes from a really powerful set of harsh rules we're going to break down today. Let's see if this idea really holds up.
99%. Just let that number sink in for a second. I mean, can you imagine what your life would feel like if that many of your frustrations and setbacks just kind of vanished? It sounds like a fantasy, right? But the framework we're exploring today says it's absolutely achievable, and it all comes down to a few core, unflinching ideas.
And that's the promise right there. Your problems fixed. It's a pretty radical thought, but it's built on a foundation that's actually surprisingly simple, though I gotta say, not always easy. So where do we even begin?
Okay, so everything we're about to talk about really hinges on one single, powerful principle. This is the engine that drives the entire philosophy. Get this, and you'll get the whole thing.
And here it is, absolute responsibility. Now, this is not about blaming yourself for every bad thing that happens to you, not at all. It's about taking complete 100% ownership of what you do next, how you react, the choices you make, and the path you decide to walk from this moment on.
And let's be super clear about this, because it's a common mistake. This is not about blame. It's the exact opposite, actually. It's about empowerment. It's about grabbing the steering wheel of your own life, even when you have no control over the road conditions or the weather.
Okay, this brings us to a really crucial distinction. And honestly, this might just be the most powerful part of this whole idea. Understanding the difference between fault and healing. Getting this right can change absolutely everything.
And this slide just nails it. Look, on one side, you have the wound. The bad thing that happened, the setback, the hurt, and a lot of the time, that is not your fault. But on the other side, you have the healing. And that is always your responsibility. It's an internal job that only you can do.
This is the quote at the very heart of it all, and man is it powerful. Let's just sit with it for a moment. Your wound is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. See, acknowledging what happened is totally separate from deciding what to do about it. And that little gap, right there, that's where all your power is.
So, accepting responsibility for your own healing, that's step one. But what comes after that? Well, this philosophy is pretty direct about it. Progress isn't free. It has a price. It's not just going to happen by itself.
The source material is blunt here. If you want true, genuine progress, it's going to require sacrifice. Period. To get something better, you have to be willing to give something up.
So what are we talking about here? What kind of sacrifice? Well, it could be giving up the comfort of your old, bad habits. It could be letting go of the satisfaction you get from blaming other people. It could even be sacrificing your old ideas about how the world is supposed to be. Progress always demands a trade.
And this slide just lays out the whole game plan. Look at these 4 steps. It starts with number 1, you acknowledge the wound, but you do it without blame. Step 2, you accept that absolute responsibility for your own healing. Then, step 3 is the tough one. You make the sacrifice needed to actually change. And only then do you get to step 4, genuine, real progress.
All right, let's bring this all home. How do you take this whole philosophy and actually put it to work in your own life, like starting today?
It really boils down to these 3 pillars. First, you embrace absolute responsibility, not as blame, but as your own personal power. Second, you understand that your healing isn't optional, it's your duty to yourself. And third, you accept the hard truth that real progress will always require sacrifice.
So we'll leave you with this final thought, because this isn't just a cool set of ideas, right? It's a direct challenge, a challenge to you. So I want you to think about your own life. What healing is just sitting there, waiting for you to finally take responsibility for it?